Hi everyone and welcome to this video on determining transformations. Yes, my name's Darren from Maffs. Lovely to see you as ever. And what's this video all about? Well, basically we're continuing on our sort of transforming functions series for mathematical methods 1 and 2. If you're here in Australia, now don't worry about it. If you are not here in Australia, it is fine because this stuff is universal. It's in maths. If you're going to move graphs around, you're going to determine transformations. And in fact, I've just got a wonderful comment on my YouTube channel that basically says, yo, that's awesome. Your video has just helped me smash my sack, which was great. Thank you so very much. And that's the whole point of these videos, is to help me, or help you really, just by putting the stuff in an easy to understand but deep enough way that you can absolutely smash your exams. What are we doing? As you can see behind me, there are the learning objectives to be able to use the theory from the previous lessons to find the transformations which applied to go from a base graph to its image, and in fact vice versa. We'll come back to it in a moment. If you want to download the stuff I'm about to write all over, it's easy. Head over to maffsguru.com and you're going to say, what on earth is Maffs Guru? And I'm going to say, there it is. And you sign up. It's absolutely free to sign up. There are video lessons on there. There are downloadable lesson notes, VCAA questions, and so much more coming. All right, enough of that type of stuff. Should we get going? I think so too. Now, I like to recap because a recap sort of says, hey, there's all this previous stuff that was really, really important. And there we go. This is the stuff. So these are the shortcuts, if you were to go from dilations from the x-axis, dilation from the y-axis, reflection in the x-axis, and reflection in the y-axis. There should be two more, which hopefully I'll try and remember to put in. But those are translating in the x-axis and in the y-axis. Those are the 6 most important things. So we're going to stretch, we're going to flip either that way or that way, or we're going to move left or right or up or down. Being able to take a base function and move it into an image is really important. And all my previous videos, I've done that both using substitution algebra and what I call direct substitution. And these things here are pretty much the direct substitution. And I know that there are teachers out there who are like, oh, shut up with the direct substitution because it's a bit of a hack. Is it? Maybe not, if you know how to use it properly. And they say, practice makes perfect. Now, the best way to do this really is because all the foundational knowledge has already been taught in my previous 3 videos. Again, that can be found on Maffs Guru. Let's go straight into an example or two. And in this situation, we are going to go from a base graph into something more complicated. And how are we going to do that? Well, the whole point of it is all I can do is substitute. I can substitute an x for something. I can substitute a y for something. That might be, I don't know, x on a or y on a. X could become substituted with negative x, y could be substituted with negative y, or the translation ones as well. So that's what we're looking to do, and we can do it in stages. And every time I do it in a stage, I have to make sure that I write down what it is I've actually done. Mathematical notation, really important here. So I'm going to start with y equals x squared. Now, ultimately, we want to do things in the order of DRT. Why? Well, they haven't given me an order of transformations, and so I'm going to have to probably follow that. It's not massive in the Methods 1 and 2 course. In fact, I can't see anywhere this is really covered, but it is pretty huge in Methods 3 and 4. So why wait until year 12 when we can sort of look at it now? Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is dilation. Right, for a dilation, I've got to replace x with or y with. So x becomes x on a or y becomes y on a. Now, I know through basic algebra that if I replace y with y on 2, then this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get y on 2 equals x squared. Multiply both sides by 2 gives me 2x squared. Can you see where I'm going with this? Well, now I've now got that 2 where I need it to be. Every time I write a transformation down, or every time I use something, I'm going to write beside it what it actually was. So here, that was the dilation, factor 2, from the x-axis. Why is it from the x-axis? Because again, it's sort of counterintuitive. I replaced the y with y on 2, so I know it's x, scale factor 2, and it's a dilation. Every time you do this, you have to write what transformation you've used, by what factor, if that's relevant, and from where. Because if you don't put all those 3 pieces of information, you're not going to get a mark. And generally these questions like this would be worth 2 or maybe 3 marks. It would be tragic if you lost 3 marks just because you didn't go that extra mile to write down what's expected. So what am I going to do now? Well, there's my dilations. Are there any reflections in this? Nope, doesn't appear that there are in fact any reflections in this. And so I'm now going to do my translations. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm now going to replace x with x minus 2. So that's going to give me y is equal to 2 lots of x minus 2 squared. Now, what does it mean when I replace x with x minus 2? That is a translation of 2 units. Now, in this situation, you can write left or right. Which way is it going to be? It's going to be right. Why? Because as usual, that negative 2 is counterintuitive. You think it's going to move 2 to the left, but in fact, it's going to move 2 to the right. So again, I've given my transformation. It's a translation by how much and in which direction. Again, really, really important. So what's the only thing I've got to do now? Well, actually replace y with y. What do I do? Minus 3. So if I do that, I get y minus 3 is 2 lots of x minus 2 squared, or y becomes equal to 2, x minus 2 squared plus 3. Ka-ching! What we wanted? That is in fact what we wanted. All I need to do now is get rid of that and write down that I have translated 3 units up. And again, what have I done? I've said what my transformation is, by how much, and in which direction. And again, generally speaking, if I was marking this, I'd be giving you 1 mark for that, 1 mark for that, and 1 mark for that, because it's important. And also I'd be looking for the order. Have you done dilations, reflections, translations? That's exercise 1A. Are there other ways of doing it? Possibly, but to me, that seems to be the nicest way of doing it. All right, exercise example 1B.